Hello, this is AnlineOffline. This is the 17th episode of my Casual's Quick Guide to Call of Duty Mobile. For today's video, we'll be covering the LK24. The LK24 was one of the original assault rifles available since launch. It's unlocked at level 37 alongside the sticky grenades, or Semtex. It first debuted in the Chinese Call of Duty Online as the G37H. In real life there is no G37, but rather it's mostly based on the Kurtz variant of the G36, while also sharing some design characteristics of the Remington ACR. The G36 has been the standard issue rifle of the Bundeswehr, or German Armed Forces, shortly after its reunification. You might be more familiar with the shorter, more compact G36C variant, or maybe the 100-round MG36. As of 2022 this year, the G36 has begun the process of being phased out in favor of the later HK416, which has also been adopted as the standard issue rifle by the Norwegians, the French, and the US Marine Corps. Despite what the in-game description may say, the LK24 is a slower firing weapon with 630 rounds per minute. Combined with its moderate damage, the LK24 is a relatively slow killing weapon when it comes to CQB, but is solid in mid-range engagements, with an effective range of 38 meters without any attachments. Somewhat recently, the LK received a buff to its chest and arm multipliers that allow for the potential to reduce your time to kill beyond its initial range, but it requires you to land exclusively at center mass. Luckily, the LK24 has very little recoil despite it being more horizontal than vertical. Previously average in terms of bullet spread accuracy, it received a 20% buff a couple of seasons ago. With possibly a bullet spread of 6.0 or higher, you can now afford to go slightly negative in terms of accuracy, at least when it comes to standard multiplayer. In addition, the usage of optics are now more viable, which I wouldn't fault anyone for, given the LK's rather infamously obstructive iron sights. In terms of mobility, the LK24 is slightly on the slower end of movement and ADS for the AR class. Weapon swap times and normal reloads are standard. One thing to note is that the LK does have one of the fastest base reload cancels in the game. As for its reputation, the closest the LK has ever been to being meta was when the KN-44 was a top AR just prior to the release of Gunsmith. The reason being that those two weapons are nearly the same. The KN has more mobility, better accuracy, and simpler iron sights, whereas the LK has more range, better body multipliers, and more ammo. Fast forward to today, I'd say that the LK is one of the more underrated weapons in this game, but I don't see it being meta anytime soon, as the current meta revolves around having fast strafing speed or a faster fire rate to counter said strafing speed. As for any future suggestions, increasing the fire rate to about 660 rounds per minute would be a modest change, but the only other thing that I can suggest is changing the iron sights. It needs a remodel, and I'd like to suggest using those of the G37H from COD Online, as that's where the LK was originally from. But hey, that's just my opinion. This has been a Casual's Quick Guide. Feel free to suggest what guns you want to see covered next. My name is On, and I'm off.